On August 11, 2024, things would take a distinct twist when 13-year-old Janiah McMichael Rogers disappeared from Gary, Indiana under baffling circumstances. On the previous night, Janiah and her mother, Janiah McMichael, had a fight that ended with Janiah crashing to her room and banging the door. It was the night before the first day of school, an archetypal time for excitement, preparations. The following morning, Janiah woke up early to prepare the kids for their big day. But something was off, the front door was ajar. Alarmed, she checked each room, looking for her children. When Janiah reached the back door, she noticed it was unlocked. Worse yet, Janiah was missing. Some of her clothes were gone, too. Panicked, Janiah called the police and reported her daughter missing. Early reports claimed Janiah was seen on surveillance footage entering a car with someone, but authorities later stated there was no evidence to support this. So, what really happened to Janiah? Is there more to this story than what we can see? Some accounts suggest no one had physically seen Janiah since June of this year. But if that's true, why was she only reported missing in August? There are troubling questions about this case, and a whiff of something more sinister. Could Janiah and her girlfriend, Kira Bates, be hiding something? Welcome to the Strange Bearing Grill. Today, we're exploring the unsettling case of Janiah McMichael Rogers. Janiah was born to Antonio Rogers and Janiah McMichael. Not long after she was born, her parents went their separate ways, and she moved in with her mom on Virginia Street in Gary, Indiana. As the oldest of 7 kids, Janiah's childhood wasn't easy. Child Protective Services showed up at their house more than 20 times to check on claims of neglect and unsafe living conditions. Her father, Antonio, claimed he hadn't been allowed to see Janiah in years. Even when he spotted her at community events and tried to speak with her, Janiah and her friends would threaten him with violence. Out of frustration, Antonio eventually distanced himself. Janiah had a history of estranging the fathers of her children. She barred the fathers of her 6 other kids from visiting as well, further isolating the family. The night before Janiah disappeared, the family celebrated a sibling's birthday. According to Janiah, they were having a good time until she confronted Janiah about whether she was pregnant. Janiah said she'd spotted Janiah not using pads and made a threat telling her, "If you're pregnant, I'll beat and kick the baby out of you." Feeling wounded and mad, Janiah went to her room and slammed the door shut. At approximately 12:45 a.m., Janiah reported that she had awakened to use the bathroom, only to find both the front and back doors ajar. After securing the doors, she proceeded to check on the children. It was then that she realized Janiah was missing. Inside Janiah's room, Janiah encountered empty hangers hanging in the closet and school supplies strewn across the floor, suggesting that her daughter had hastily emptied her bag. Janiah provided a description of Janiah's attire at that moment: a black hooded sweatshirt, black pajamas, and black and red shoes. However, this raises an intriguing question: how could Janiah accurately recount what Janiah was wearing if she hadn't witnessed her departure? Adding to the confusion, Janiah claimed the family's Ring doorbell camera wasn't working. Meanwhile, Janiah's father, Antonio, revealed CPS had contacted him earlier in the year, reporting that Janiah might be pregnant. He was skeptical of Janiah's version of events and believed foul play was involved. Desperate for answers, Antonio and Janiah's grandmother, Latata Rogers, hired a private investigator, Kevin Collins, also known as KC Bodyguard. When Collins visited Janiah's home, he noticed something odd: Janiah's bed was stripped of sheets and blankets. Janiah claimed she had just washed them, but Collins found no evidence of fresh laundry. Janiah and Kira denied that Janiah had a phone or social media accounts. Yet, Janiah's sibling later contradicted this, saying she often saw Janiah using her phone. This revelation visibly angered Janiah and Kira. The investigators' search led him to an abandoned school where Janiah and her friend supposedly spent time. Despite combing through several locations in Gary and East Chicago, no solid leads emerged. Criticism has mounted against the Gary Police Department for their handling of the case. Family members allege that police ignored tips and failed to follow up on crucial leads. When Janiah's family petitioned for an Amber Alert, authorities, however, issued a Silver Alert, which is typically reserved for missing elderly individuals or those with cognitive impairments. Why was a silver alert issued for a 13-year-old girl? This decision, although puzzling, felt like a slap in the face to Janiah's loved ones, who tirelessly searched for her. It was difficult to understand, because the urgency of her situation seemed undeniable. Janiah's grandmother, Delia James, has been relentless, spending countless nights looking for her granddaughter. Yet another troubling detail emerged. The last verified sighting of Janiah was not on August 11th, but in early June. If Janiah wasn't seen for over 2 months, who can confirm she was at home on the night of her disappearance? The only witnesses are Jasmine, Kira, and the younger children. Could Jasmine and Kira be withholding the truth? As the case unfolds, troubling accusations have been made, including Jasmine blaming a schoolmate of Janiah's and his mother. But without concrete evidence, the mystery surrounding Janiah's disappearance only deepens. What do you think happened to Janiah? Share your thoughts below. Let's hope that with persistence, we can uncover the truth and bring Janiah home. On August 11, 2024, Jasmine McMichael and her mother confronted a young boy named Leigh, accusing him and his mother of holding Janiah against her will. They took their accusations to such an extreme that the police were called. Jasmine never clarified why she believed Leigh and his mother were involved, raising eyebrows about the legitimacy of her claims. To ease tensions, the private investigator, Kevin Collins, known as KC Bodyguard, arranged a conference call between Jasmine and Leigh's mother. Leigh's mother agreed, eager to clear her name and put an end to the daily harassment she and her children were enduring. But when the time came, Jasmine ignored the calls and refused to engage. Despite this, KC arranged for Leigh and his mother to participate in a live discussion to share their side of the story. Leigh's mother reiterated that she wished Janiah had been at her home, safe and sound, and expressed her frustration over the harassment. She even offered to let authorities search her home to prove she had nothing to hide. After the live discussion, Jasmine attempted to fire KC as the private investigator, despite the fact that he was hired by Janiah's paternal grandmother, Janiah Rogers, not Jasmine. Ultimately, Leigh and his family were thoroughly investigated and cleared of any wrongdoing. With no evidence tying them to Janiah's disappearance, attention shifted back to Jasmine. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe now. Next stage. And then came the red flags. The first red flag, Jasmine told investigators that Janiah and her younger sister had been repeatedly abused by a family member, her sister's boyfriend or the father of her sister's child. Shockingly, Jasmine admitted she never reported the abuse or took steps to protect her children. If true, this raises disturbing questions about her judgment and priorities. The second red flag, when KC and the search team organized efforts to find Janiah and raise awareness, Jasmine declined to participate. She claimed she had outstanding warrants and didn't want to risk interacting with the police. But for most parents, fear of legal trouble would pale in comparison to the urgency of finding a missing child. The third red flag, KC asked Jasmine to create a video plea for Janiah's safe return. Jasmine hesitated, saying she didn't know what to say, and had to be coached through the process. When the video was finally made, her tone seemed indifferent, lacking the raw emotion you'd expect from a parent in such a heartbreaking situation. In the video, Jasmine gave a generic plea. "My daughter's name is Janiah McMichael. She's 13 years old, about 4 tall. Last seen leaving home on Virginia Street in Gary, Indiana, Sunday night. If you'll have any leads. Janiah, if you see this, baby, come home. Please come home. That's all we want. We just want to know you're safe." The lack of urgency and visible emotion raised eyebrows. Everyone processes grief differently, but combined with other red flags, it didn't sit well with many observers. The fourth red flag, Jasmine initially told police that Janiah didn't own a cell phone, making it difficult to track her location. But Janiah's younger sister contradicted this, revealing that Janiah frequently used her phone. The fifth red flag, Jasmine's timeline of events was inconsistent. She first claimed she noticed Janiah missing at 12:45 a.m., but didn't report it until 8 hours later. Later, she changed her story, saying she didn't notice Janiah was gone until she woke the kids for school the next morning. The sixth red flag, Jasmine sent Casey a screenshot of a car she claimed Janiah had entered the night she disappeared. However, the investigator reviewed the footage and found no evidence supporting her claim. The car wasn't even near their home, and Janiah didn't appear in the footage at all. The final red flag, Jasmine reportedly told someone she didn't want her children anymore. Text messages revealed she had been considering surrendering them to Child Protective Services. In one message, she mentioned that her relationship with her girlfriend, Kira, was strained due to her kids. Was this part of a larger scheme, or was it just another alarming insight into her mindset? So what really happened to Janiah? Let's explore some theories. An altercation turned fatal. Could Janiah have been harmed in June, possibly during an argument about her alleged pregnancy? Jasmine had made violent threats about what she'd do if Janiah were pregnant. If something happened, reporting her missing in August might have been a way to deflect suspicion, especially with school starting and officials likely to question her absence. She ran away. Growing up in a toxic household may have driven Janiah to escape. If she was pregnant, she might have fled to protect her unborn child from the abusive environment. Someone is covering for the father of Janiah's child. If the father was indeed someone within the family's circle, it's possible they silenced Janiah to hide the truth. Jasmine and Kira are involved. Could they have been complicit in Janiah's disappearance? Was Janiah seen as an obstacle to their relationship? What do you think happened to Janiah? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Kevin Collins continues to work tirelessly on cases like this without charging families a dime. Should you wish to support his endeavors, which are quite noble, consider making a donation to his cause. Together, we can assist families in locating their missing loved ones. However, it is crucial to recognize the emotional weight of this situation. Many families experience profound distress because of their losses. Although the journey may be challenging, every contribution can make a significant difference. Remember to subscribe to our channel now if you have not. Thanks.